Have you ever wondered why you're afraid of falling in love? It's a question that many of us may have asked ourselves at some point in our lives. This fear, also known as philophobia, is more common than you might think. Let's delve a bit deeper. Philophobia comes from the Greek words philo, meaning love, and phobia, meaning fear. It's not just the fear of falling in love, but also the fear of emotional attachment. Often, it's rooted in previous experiences of heartbreak, rejection, or trauma. Now you might be thinking, well, isn't everyone a little scared of getting their heart broken? And you wouldn't be wrong, but philophobia is much more intense. It's a fear so deep-seated that it can prevent individuals from forming any romantic relationships at all. It's an overwhelming dread that can lead to physical symptoms like dizziness, nausea, or even shortness of breath. Surprisingly, despite its prevalence, philophobia is rarely talked about. It's often misunderstood, brushed off as commitment issues or simply being overly cautious, but it's a real fear with real consequences for those who experience it. So now that we understand what fear of love is, let's look at some signs that might indicate you're experiencing this fear. Firstly, you might have a fear of vulnerability. This is a common sign that you may be afraid of falling in love. Love demands us to bare our souls, to show our true selves, to become emotionally naked. It's about letting someone see you, the real you, not the version you present to the world. That's a scary prospect for many of us. It means letting down our defenses, removing our masks, and that can feel incredibly risky. If you find it hard to open up and be vulnerable with someone you're romantically interested in, you might be afraid of falling in love. The second sign is the fear of rejection. This fear is a common hurdle when it comes to love. The thought of revealing your feelings to someone only to be turned away can be paralyzing. It's like standing on the edge of a cliff, the wind howling, your heart pounding. The leap is scary and the fear of not being caught can hold you back. This fear can make us choose loneliness over the risk of rejection. If you are avoiding romantic relationships due to a fear of rejection, this could indicate a fear of falling in love. Another sign is the fear of commitment. It's a common misconception that this fear is exclusive to relationships. However, it's often a telltale sign of a much deeper fear, the fear of love. The idea of committing to one person, of promising to be there for them through thick and thin, can be incredibly daunting. It's not just about giving up your freedom, but also about taking on the responsibility of another person's emotions and well-being. This commitment, while beautiful, is a huge undertaking. If you find the idea of commitment in a romantic relationship intimidating, this could be a sign that you're afraid of falling in love. Finally, the last two signs are the fear of losing independence and the fear of getting hurt. The fear of losing independence is a common one, and it's entirely understandable. You've spent years building your life, your routines, and your habits. You've established a sense of self that is entirely your own. So the thought of sharing that life with someone else, of potentially having to compromise or change certain aspects of it, can certainly be intimidating. It's the fear that love might encroach on your personal space, your time, and your freedom. But remember, a healthy relationship should enhance your life, not limit it. Then there's the fear of getting hurt. It's a universal human experience, isn't it? We've all been hurt at some point in our lives, and it's natural to want to avoid experiencing that pain again. This is especially true when it comes to love, as the emotional stakes are so much higher. Love opens us up, makes us vulnerable, exposes our hearts. But while the potential for pain is real, so too is the potential for joy, connection, and deep emotional fulfillment. The fear of getting hurt can hold us back from experiencing the full spectrum of human emotion that love can offer. So, if you find yourself shying away from relationships because you're afraid of losing your independence or getting hurt emotionally, it could be a sign that you're afraid of falling in love. Recognizing these fears is the first step towards confronting them, so don't be too hard on yourself. We're all just trying to navigate this complicated thing called love. Now that we've identified these signs, what can we do about it? The first step is acknowledgement. Recognize and understand that these fears exist within you. It's a part of being human, but don't let the fear hold you back. If you're struggling, it's okay to seek help. Reach out to friends, loved ones, or professional counselors. They can provide guidance and support as you navigate these fears. Remember, it's okay to be afraid, but don't let your fear stop you from experiencing the joys of love. You're not alone in this, and help is available.